I've been sitting on this bench for over 30 years, watching people from every walk of life walk through those doors, rich, poor, broken, powerful. And over time, I thought I understood people. I thought I knew exactly what someone would do when no one was watching, especially when they're desperate. But one cold morning, I was proven completely wrong, not a little wrong, completely. And what happened that day, it didn't just surprise me, it changed me forever. Before I tell you what happened, I want you to do something. If you truly believe that honesty still matters in today's world, type the word honor in the comments, not for the algorithm, but because deep down you still believe in it, because what you're about to hear will test that belief. It was a freezing Tuesday morning in November, the kind of cold that doesn't just touch your skin, it goes straight into your bones. The courtroom was full, routine cases, small disputes, nothing unusual. Until the doors opened, and a boy walked in. No parents, no family, just a police officer beside him. He couldn't have been older than 10. His jacket was way too big for him, and his shoes. They were literally held together with duct tape. His name was Leo, and in his trembling hands, he was holding something that didn't belong to him, a designer leather wallet. Inside it, exactly $10,000 in cash. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest. If you hadn't eaten in days, if you were sleeping on the street and you found $10,000 cash, what would you do? Would you return it or would you keep it? The case was called forward. Now understand this. Leo wasn't on trial. He wasn't a criminal. The police brought him in because the owner of that wallet had reported it stolen, and when they found Leo near the station, holding it, they brought him to me to figure out the truth. That's when I saw the owner, Richard Sterling. A wealthy real estate developer, the kind of man who walks into a room like he owns it. Expensive suit, phone in hand, not even looking at the boy, not even once. The officer testified. He said they found Leo sitting under a streetlight in the freezing cold, waiting, not spending a single dollar, not even for food. He was just waiting for someone to return it to. I turned to Sterling. "Sir," I said, "this child found your wallet. He protected it. He waited in the cold to return it. Do you know what he did? He didn't say thank you. He didn't even look at the boy. He grabbed the wallet and started counting the money, right there, in front of everyone, one bill at a time. Like he expected it to be missing. Like he expected that starving child to be a thief." The room went silent, and I let that silence sit, because sometimes silence says more than words ever could. When he finished counting, he snapped the wallet shut and said, "It's all here," almost disappointed. So I leaned forward and asked him, "Is there anything you'd like to say to this boy?" And what happened next? Nobody in that courtroom will ever forget. He reached into his wallet, pulled out a single $20 bill, and tossed it on the table, didn't even hand it to him, just tossed it. "Here," he said. "Go buy yourself something to eat," then added, "You're lucky I don't have you searched." You could hear people gasp. Even my clerk dropped her pen, because in 30 years, I've seen criminals with more dignity than that man. But here's the part that hit me hardest. Leo didn't move, didn't touch the money, didn't even look at it. He just stood there, cold, hungry, but proud. So I stopped everything. "Mr. Sterling," I said quietly, "pick up your $20. Go sit down. I'm not finished." Then I turned to Leo, and I asked him something I'll never forget asking. "Why didn't you keep it? You could have changed your life. No one would have known." And his answer, it broke something inside me. He looked at me and said, "My mom told me before she died, we might be poor, but we have our name. And if I take something that isn't mine, I lose that." I had to stop because that moment right there was worth more than every dollar in that wallet. But the story doesn't end there, because something else was inside that wallet, something hidden, something dangerous. A USB drive and a handwritten ledger full of numbers, names, payments, bribes, millions of dollars, corruption. And suddenly, that powerful man, he wasn't powerful anymore. He was scared. Within minutes, investigators walked in, and right there, in my courtroom, That same man who threw $20 at a starving child was placed in handcuffs. Because the truth is, that boy didn't just return a wallet, he exposed an empire. I looked at Leo, shaking, confused, thinking he did something wrong, and I told him, "You didn't just do the right thing. You changed everything." But here's the part that will stay with me forever. A year later, that same boy walked back into my courtroom, but this time he wasn't alone. Officer Miller had adopted him. New clothes, warm smile, a future. And in his hand, a small note. It said, "Thank you for believing me." I placed that note on my desk, right next to my grandfather's photo, because that day reminded me of something simple. Money can buy power, it can buy comfort, it can buy influence, but it can never buy character, integrity, or honor. So now I ask you, one last question. When life puts you in a difficult moment, who will you be? The man with the money or the boy with nothing? But integrity? If this story meant something to you, hit like. Share it with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe, because stories like this are what remind us who we really are.